Hi, everybody. This is Chris from Next Step Insurance again, here to talk about some more tax credits, modified adjusted gross income. This is part of a series trying to explain the marketplace, tax credits, and how that affects your income. So this video is specifically talking about modified adjusted gross income. That is what the marketplace is asking for when they ask for your income. That's what your agent is asking for. And of course, many people would like to know, what is that? What income? Is it for the whole year? Is it part of the year? So let's talk about it. Let me show you my screen. By now you might be familiar because this is one of a series that I'm doing on this subject. So just so you know who I am, my name is Christina and I am from Wisconsin. I started working with the marketplace in 2013 and I love it. I love everything about it. As I got busier and busier, eventually I did start my own business called Next Step Insurance. We now have 4 individual agents working on the marketplace, 4 Medicare agents, and a whole bunch of staff. So we have been doing this a long time. So let's get to it. Who gets these tax credits? In the previous video, I talked about the group that qualifies to get on the marketplace, but this is the group that qualifies to get tax credits. Technically, anybody between the ages of 0 and 64. Adult children getting off their plan, if you don't have employer coverage, loss of credible coverage because you lost your job, whether voluntary or involuntary. And if you're over the age of 65 and you do not get the free Part A Medicare, then you can also get tax credits. But what income are they looking for? Well, let's get to that. What they're looking for is called the MAGI, the MAGI. And I can tell you right now, most people have no idea what that is. So that's what we're going through. MAGI stands for the Modified Adjusted Gross Income. And if you look up images of MAGI, you get a bunch of this cartoon, but I digress. Modified Adjusted Gross Income. You need to figure out what your adjusted gross income is first. Now that is easy to find on your tax return, and I'll show you that in a second. It's a little bit harder because you are estimating in the future what you're going to make. Now, if you've been doing the same income, you live off Social Security and a pension and a consistent withdrawal from your IRA, that's pretty easy to do. But if you just retired, what are they looking for? They want your modified adjusted gross income, which includes all of the wages, your salaries, taxable interest. Pretty much, if the IRS is told about your income, that's what they need to know. You're allowed to deduct certain self-employment expenses, student loan interest, not the payments, just the interest. If you are contributing to an IRA, that's a deduction. Moving expenses, talk to your accountant to make sure you qualify for that. There's a lot that you can deduct, but not a ton. So if you contribute to a lot of non-taxable or like the Humane Society or something like that, those are deductions that happen later. So it has to be very specific. And once you're retired, there's not a whole lot you can do. HSAs are one of them. But this is what tends to hang people up, the other income. Well, what does other income mean? This is what I want to explain. So the modified adjusted gross is all your typical income, but it's also non-taxable Social Security premiums. It's foreign income that you earn while living abroad. It's interest-free income not taxed by the IRS, and something to be aware of. Some scholarships can count as income. So if you have a student who's getting a scholarship to go to college, you might want to check. You might get a 1099 at the end of the year with that scholarship that you have to pay taxes on, and that does count as income. So it's just something to be aware of. Now, if you're saying, I don't have any of this, I just want to go, are you sure? Well, if not, well, you're all set. You're done. You can skip to the next video because your adjusted gross income is pretty easy to count. That's all you need. There's no modifications because you don't have these extra things. So again, the MAGI, the modified adjusted gross, is adjusted gross plus non-taxable Social Security benefits, tax-exempt interest, excluded foreign income. That's what you get. Now, the reason I want to point out the non-taxable Social Security benefits is because I've been doing this for a while and I've seen a lot of tax forms, and I've noticed something interesting about Social Security. Sometimes none of your Social Security is taxed. Sometimes all of your Social Security is taxed, and sometimes only some of it is taxed. Well, I'm not an accountant, and believe me, I don't want to be. God bless them. They're excited about numbers, and I'm so glad I have one. But just so you know where it is, now you can understand where the modified adjusted gross income is coming from. So let's look at your tax form. The line numbers might change from year to year. This has been line 11, I think, for the last 2 years, but I've also seen it line 13 and 12. But this is from 2021. Find your adjusted gross income. This year, it's line 11. If you have a different dollar amount because you are collecting Social Security on line 6A and 6B, you're going to have to do a little math. Now, again, if you don't collect anything for Social Security and pretty much any of those extra things on the side, don't worry about it. You're fine. But if you do, this is how you calculate it. So let's take a little closer look. So adjusted gross income, like I said, it's on line 11. If you have Social Security benefits that you are collecting, it will show the gross amount on line 6A. But maybe only some of your income on your Social Security is taxed. So 6B will be a different amount. So you're going to have to subtract 6B from line 11 and then add 6A. It looks like this. Line 30 or line 11, which was 30,000, subtract that 805, add 6A, 15,362, and the modified adjusted gross is 44,557. If you had walked into my office telling me your gross income was 30,000 and your tax credits were paid on that, and then you filed your income tax return, you would owe money back because the government would say, no, your modified adjusted gross income is 44,557. So you probably would have to pay a couple $1,000s back. That's where a lot of misinformation gets out there. It's not a penalty. You just weren't getting the income counted correctly. I wanted to give this to you as the consumer so that if your accountant's not sure, because there's still a few that don't know where that calculation is coming from, this is it. Now, again, if you don't collect Social Security at all, you don't have to worry about it. Or if all of your Social Security is taxed, hey, that line 11 is accurate. It's just if you need to add your Social Security. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the comments. I will try and get back to them as soon as I can. Thank you once again for watching this video, and please watch the rest of the videos to understand the marketplace, tax credits, and more. Thank you, and have a great day.